Hello YouTube, today I'll be showing you a farming money making guide. And so this will be farming grapevines, which are the god grapes. So the requirements for this are, you need 95 farming, 92 cooking, and I also suggest you have Fairy Tale 3 quests complete. So you're just going to be planting this in a hops patch, and so it requires 4 grapevine seeds and 5 planks each. Alright, so here's my equipment setup. I have the full farmer's outfit. Then I have the mobile and wise perk, which are augmentable weapons or shields. The Ring of Whispers will add 3 invisible farming levels. I'm not sure how much it helps, but I just brought it anyways. So the next thing I have is a farming skill cape, and so this requires 99 farming. What this thing does is there's a 10% chance to activate the patch bomb effect. So when this thing triggers, it will note everything and empty the patch. It also stacks with the Green Fingers aura, so don't worry about it. In my pocket slot, I have the Captain's Log or the Arc Journal, which is basically for the Port Sarim teleport. And finally, I have the Supreme Green Fingers aura, which will give me 10% extra yield. In my tool belt, I have the Magic Secateurs and the Magic Watering Can. Now for those who don't know already, you can actually add them to your tool belt, and you get the full effect. Alright, so here's my inventory setup. I have 16 grapevine seeds. You can bring 4 super composts or just store it with a tool leprechaun, it's really up to you. Then I have the combat bracelet and the modified Yanil teleport tablet. I bring a few farming urns, as well as the urn enhancer. You can also bring planks in your inventory if you want, but the tool leprechaun holds them nowadays for you. And finally, you can bring Sign of the Porters, but it's really up to you. I personally don't bring them. Alright, so the first patch I'm going to be going to is a Yanil patch. So what you're going to do is use your Yanil teleport tablet, then go east and a little to your north. So I first grab the planks from the tool leprechaun. Now you can always use the grapes on the tool leprechaun if you want to note them. So after you finish harvesting, you want to use the super compost first. After that, use the planks, and then plant the grapevine seeds. Finally, you're going to water the hops patch. The next patch I'm going to be going to is a Sears Village patch. And so this is going to be using the Sears Lodestone. Then run north and a little to your west and you'll find it. So yeah, pretty much do the same as above really. So the third patch I'll be going to is the South of Varrock patch. So to get there, I'm going to be using the combat bracelet. Then select the Champions Guild and go a little south to climb the shortcut. And yeah, just south of the shortcut, you'll see the patch. And yeah, just do the same as above really, there's nothing else to really explain on this. And finally, the last patch we have is the Entrana patch. So you're just going to be using your Arc Journal or your Captain's Log to get to Port Sarim. Although you do land in different places, it's the middle dock in Port Sarim. So before you travel, you must deposit anything that has combat stats, which there's a deposit box nearby. In my case, I have only my augmented gear and my farming skill cape. Yeah, I know, it kind of sucks that you can't use farming skill cape here. So yeah, just travel the Entrana Monk, then surge east, and you'll find the patch. So once you're done harvesting and planting, just use whatever bank teleport you have. I just used a Prif Lodestone and that works fine. So now that you've completed your whole run, you're just gonna have to make the god grapes to wines. And so this requires 92 cooking. You'll be using the grapes into the jug of water, and it will ferment in less than 1 minute. Now for those who are making jug of wines, you know how this whole thing works, so I don't really need to explain to you. The only difference is that it never turns into jug of bad wine, so you don't have to worry about it. So in conclusion, this takes me 5 minutes to harvest and replant them. The patches will take approximately 1.5 hours to grow. Now I didn't factor in the time you spent making the wines, because the cooking XP is pretty good. As for the profit per trip, it's not really certain, but what I can tell you is that Wine of Zamorak seems to be the most common. The Saradomin and Guthics are just half as common, so it's basically a 50 to 25 to 25 ratio. In this trip, I ended up with 25 Zamorak, 10 Saradomin, and 14 Guthics. The Wine of Zamorak will always be a stable item, so don't worry about it. The Wine of Saradomin, well, it's kind of unstable, but it's usually high priced. And finally, although the Wine of Guthics is really cheap, but people do make Super Guthics rests. So yeah, the grapevine seeds are quite expensive, and the farming XP isn't good. So honestly, I'm gonna say it's up to you to decide whether it's worth doing or not. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope it helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask.